We're ready. Okay.
I haven't seen you guys in a few months. So we just thought it would be a good time because it's almost been a year since we've been going back and forth to the school board and going to meetings and checking everything out. So we thought we would review kind of what we've learned within the last 10 to 11 months. So I'm going to start out with this. We started with the DON project, DON. DON stands for Diversity Our Narrative. And the reason why we started with that is because the DON project was in English departments, high school and middle school, grades 6 through 12, and they had a list of 71 books. Now, the criteria was a minimum of at least one book in every English, Lit, and Comp class was to be by a person of color and about a person of color's experience. Not a big deal. Until you overhear an English teacher at the high school say, be ready to defend these books because we will get pushback from parents. Pushback from parents. Warning bells started going off. So we began a journey that seems never ending with books and books into looking into some of these books on the list. So what we did is we found 4 of them that we looked into. The first one was The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. It has very explicit sex scenes where the dad rapes his 11-year-old daughter and enjoys it. There's orgasms, nudity, pornography, bestiality, on and on. The second book, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, has foul language all throughout the book, a lot of gang violence, drug use, which leads us to other books. The other books were All Boys Aren't Blue by George Johnson. Totally disgusting sexual perversion. And let me just read you one sentence. An example, he reached down my pants and pulled out my dick. He quickly went to giving me head. And it goes on and on. Then, of course, we have the graphic novel, Gender Queer by Kababi. I'll just show you the pictures right here.
Now, genderqueer isn't on the Dawn Project list.
No,
but it led us
no.
to this book.
Yes.
We discovered this book because
Yes.
we were looking into books in our library.
Yes. So here's the pictures. That's okay. Now, remember, these were the first 4 books that we looked into. We knew nothing about them until we started looking. And then the bells went off again when we heard that the high school teacher said, be ready to defend these books because we will get pushback from parents. Very good. Okay. Well, we tried to get them removed from the school district. We asked them to be replaced with something without the sex, the rapes, the foul language, but the school board and the superintendent chose to follow the school committee when they said that they were to remain on the shelves because it did not meet the school criteria of deselection according to the procedure 2021. Now, these people on the school committee said that the definition of pornography is to excite sexually. They found no pornography in any of these 4 books. Did you just see the picture? Interesting. Pretty sure when people are getting raped, having sex, nudity, etc., that someone is excited sexually. But enough about that. The school district's moral compass is nowhere to be found. But I did find out from the Walla Walla Penitentiary that those 4 books would never be allowed at the prison because of all the sexual acts and innuendos and because of the pornography. So adult males cannot look or read at the books in prison, but your children can get those in our public schools that your taxpayers' dollars went for. But I digress. We've also been discussing the vaccines and masks at the school board meetings because April 13th, which is just a little over a week and a half, The Washington State Board of Health will be voting on whether they will require the COVID-19 inoculations for all students to attend school and daycare. And yes, this includes the 3 to 5-year-old children too. So email the State Board of Health with your opinion. We also brought to light this last year the health education, sex ed, with the rights, respect, and responsibility. That's where your 11 and 12-year-old can learn vaginal sex, oral sex, and anal sex. Also, high risk, low risk, and no risk of STDs. Now, no risk being, and I quote, bathing together, mutual masturbation, kissing on the lips, solo masturbation, holding hands, and finally abstaining from sexual activity. They also teach the 12 and 13-year-olds about the laws that teach them that they do not need parent permission or notification for treatment or testing for sexually transmitted diseases. That's for 14 years and older. That they teach them that they can get birth control services at any age. They teach them in our schools that they can receive an abortion or abortion-related services at any age. They also teach them in our schools at 13 years old that you can get outpatient mental care without your parents' permission. You can get at 13 years of age outpatient substance abuse help without your parents' permission or knowledge. We learned that this year that teachers can use supplemental curriculum at their discretion and no one ever checks it. So for example, we had a Garrison Middle School teacher that supplemented curriculum, and one of the questions on that assignment that they supplemented was the question, do you agree white children need to be taught about racism early on, around age 5, to recognize the different treatment and social status of different racial groups? There seems to be a more subtle yet obvious push of indoctrination instead of just education. We keep pressing forward and uncovering things in the school district because parents and grandparents are asking questions. We all are educating ourselves on public education. There's more we are doing, and we also are not going away. We will be at every school board meeting just to show up. But here's the good news. American homeschooling has quadrupled over the last year in the United States. We have resources for you to look at and decide what's best for your family, private or homeschooling. So get a hold of us. Sarah?
So I was going to go over just a little bit about what has happened recently, more recently, within the school board and the school district in the last few meetings that we've had. And so I just wanted to say thank you to the parents that have spoken at the last few meetings. And this was a new experience for them and they did a great job. And I just want to tell you thank you for stepping up and standing up for the children of Walla. We appreciate you. I also want to say thank you for showing up to the prayer meeting. It continues to be a very powerful and valuable time that we spend together and just lifting up our cares and concerns to the Lord and being unified in that. Our next meeting will be April 19th. We'll meet in the parking lot at 4:45 p.m. for prayer. And then the school board meeting will begin at 5:30 p.m. I would encourage you all to come to both. If you can only get one, then catch one of those, but it is important. I wanted to mention that at the last school board meeting in March, they had an SEL Harmony curriculum informational presentation, and the SEL team, that's social and emotional learning, presented to the school board different aspects of what they're doing within our school districts. And it left me with a lot of questions as a parent of exactly what's going on in our school districts and what we may not know is happening within our school districts. And if parents know that that's happening with their own child in the school district, I would encourage you that if you did not catch the last meeting, it is on Facebook. It is also on YouTube. I would look at Walla School Board and then the date of the meeting, which was 3/18/22. And just watch that and let me know your thoughts on that. Because I have a lot of questions and maybe you know more than I do, and that might help me. I spoke about accountability and transparency, because really that's what this all is about, is that we need to know because we're their parents and that's our job. And so in February, when I spoke, I gave some examples, but also some solutions of what I thought would be helpful in partnering with parents. And I just wanted to let everyone know that even though I've been going to school board meetings since July, I have not had one school board member communicate with me in any way about any of my concerns, about any of my questions. It is interesting. I also shared at the last meeting that our recent testing data is showing that we are falling short in our school district. In our high school, math proficiency is at 35%. And in reading, proficiency is 60%. Yet we have a 91% graduation rate. Lowering expectations does not do anyone any favors. We can no longer continue to declare that we have Washington's most sought after graduates if those are what our testing scores are. We need something to change. If you agree with any of this, or in that there is no place for politically driven or polarizing curriculum here in Walla Walla, please get involved. Now is the time to show up and step up and be at that next school board meeting. So again, that's April 19th, 4:45 for prayer and 5:30 school board meeting. We thank everyone that's gotten involved and that has reached out, and we are all in this together, and we look forward to moving forward and continuing to make a difference.
Yes, yes. And we have to remember that there's no more sitting on the sidelines. Our children are our most valued possessions, and we love them and want the best for them. And we have to pay attention to what is being taught to them, because if they go against what we believe, then there's going to be a problem. And so really, people, please look into what your children are learning in class and what they're learning just from every direction in the school district, because it's very, very important. Keep your thumb on it and pay attention. And we certainly appreciate you all coming and responding to us and come to the school board meetings and stuff. And we would really appreciate even more of you coming.
Yes. So until next time,
Yes.
hopefully we will see you soon.